Here's what no one tells you about the current state of machine learning jobs, and why it's crucial that you understand what companies actually need so that you can prepare for it better. Back in 2021, I wrote an article on this very matter. It's 2025 now. Generative AI has exploded, tools like Vertex AI and AutoML have matured, and yet most people are still confused about what ML and AI jobs actually look like. That's right, learning a few so-called ML algorithms won't cut it anymore. This video is the 2025 update I wish someone had shown me when I was starting out. So what does the ML and AI job market actually look like in 2025? On social media, it feels like everyone is hiring for AI. You see people posting about LLMs, agents, and prompt engineering every day. But when you look at real job descriptions, companies are asking for something very different. People who can work with messy data, ship production systems, understand costs and risks, and use tools like GenAI and AutoML as accelerators instead of a crutch. If your entire plan is just, I'll learn a few algorithms and that will get me a job, you're not just competing with other candidates, you're competing with the tools themselves. So let's start with the biggest misunderstanding about ML jobs in 2025, how little time you actually spend training models. One of the biggest myths about ML jobs is that you'll spend most of your time training fancy models. In reality, modeling is maybe 10% of the job on a good day. Most of your time goes into messy, unsexy work, understanding what the business actually wants, pulling data from 5 broken systems, cleaning the data, engineering features that make sense, and then wiring everything into an API or a product that real users touch. After that, you're monitoring, debugging, and retraining your model and answering the question, why did the model do this? Over and over again. The sooner you stop imagining your day as tuning hyperparameters in a perfect Jupyter notebook and start seeing it as building end-to-end systems that survive real-world chaos, the faster your preparation will match what companies actually pay for. Once you accept that modeling is just one part of the picture, the next question is, what does the full ML or AI pipeline actually look like in 2025? If you zoom out, every serious ML or AI role in 2025 plugs into a pipeline, not a single model. It usually starts with problem framing, what decision are we trying to improve, and how will we measure it? Then you have data pipelines, labeling, and governance to make sure the information you feed the model is even trustworthy. Only after that, do you touch traditional ML or modern LLMs. You experiment, compare baselines, and design something that's not just accurate in a notebook but stable when the data shifts. And then comes the part most beginners ignore: deployment, monitoring, cost control, and guardrails so your models or LLMs don't quietly break in production. In 2025, companies don't want model experts in isolation. They want people who understand where the model sits in this entire chain, from raw data all the way to a dashboard, API, or workflow that actually changes business outcomes. Now that you've seen where the model sits in the bigger system, let's talk about what companies actually hire for in that system. So what actually gets you hired into ML and AI roles in 2025? It's not a stack of certificates or a list of algorithms you've memorized. Companies are looking for a different mix: solid data skills, solid Python, comfort with at least one cloud platform, and proof that you can build and ship something end-to-end. That proof doesn't have to be a fancy research paper. It can be 3 or 4 serious projects where you owned the problem, worked with messy data, deployed a model or an LLM behind an API, and measured whether it actually helped. If you can talk through those projects clearly, what worked, what failed, what you'd change, you already stand out from most people who only did tutorial notebooks. Tools like GenAI and AutoML are making it cheaper to train models. That means the premium now is on people who can connect those tools to real problems, real data and real products. If you aim your learning at that level, you're not competing to be the person who knows a few algorithms, you're competing to be the person who can drive impact. So the main takeaway is this: ML and AI jobs in 2025 are not about memorizing a few algorithms or copying Kaggle notebooks. They're about understanding problems, working with messy data, and wiring models and LLMs into real systems that survive production. If you're serious about this path, start aiming your learning at the whole pipeline, not just the model step. In future videos, I'll break down real projects and skills you can work on to get there. If that sounds useful, consider subscribing so you don't miss those.